Welcome in to the new members and to the old members that have found their way back to the community. I need you just as much as you need me. In this morning's update, we're going to take a look at a couple different factors here. First, we're going to start with XRP, and we're going to see exactly what kind of breakdown we're looking at here, or breakout if XRP plays this properly. We're at the apex moment here of a formation that started all the way back on March 8th of this year, so about a month ago. The apex point's it's at April 3rd, so we'll see this. I know it's April's Fool's Day, but I don't deal with that bullshit because I think as somebody who puts out factual information, you don't use people's emotions and what they're trying to find on April Fools just to get a little laugh for yourself. I see a lot of bullshit out there today, and I'm just going to stay off YouTube because I don't appreciate April Fools when I'm trying to look at it from a financial standpoint. And I get a bunch of people who are just treating this like garbage, let's just say. I have too much respect to do a April Fools type thing. I've never participated in the first 2 years, and I'm not participating it this year. I'm not going to come out with some BS headline to make everybody think that something good/bad is going to happen, and then it's just a play on your emotions or your mental stamina. So I don't appreciate that as a whole from the ones who are trying to be professional. But anyhow, this is where XRP's at. We're coming to the apex moment. If we break down, it suggests the technical target's down at 45 cents. If we break up, it's at 77.91. Now that's great, but we have a couple different things that would have to play out before we went to 45, including a major loss here if that were to happen at the cup and handle support. Right now we're right at the handle support. This pattern formation support, the short term, and this suggests if we break down, first target's 53.09 cents. And we're below right now the handle resistance, the short term mid-tier handle resistance. If you're below the handle resistance at any time, and after you break through here, this is kind of like your overextended zone. Just like when we were up, we created an overextended zone. But once you break below this at 60 cents, it opens up the door to the first target at 53.2 cents. But then ultimately down here at about 50 cents is the bottom of this target. You need to hold the bottom of the handle. No matter how bearish it gets, we have to hold the bottom of the handle. If we lose the handle on a cup and handle, it's very bearish and you have to reset. Well, resetting it means the move that we were supposed to get to $1.20 would play to the bottom side. I'm not looking at that perspective yet. I do have it up there just in case. But with everything being said, with the formations we're in, I would be shocked if we broke below that handle formation. Unless something unbelievable came into play that we're just not seeing right now. Or a judgment of $2 billion fine was actually put down and levied. I'm not seeing anything that's going to bust out this handle right now. I could see it coming back down for sure, but to actually bust it is a completely different thing. And when we look at this in like the daily time frame so you can see the pattern, we have a very nice cup that formed. The cup started, in my opinion, right around here on April of 2022, so 2 years ago almost to the day. And then the handle completed July of 2023. And now we're filling it out. We're filling it out. The apex point is technically not until, it's crazy, but this could play out in a handle like this until October of this year. Which, if you think about it, is actually quite alarming because the all-time pattern formation from all-time highs and then going from January of 2018 when we hit $3.50 on average, depending on exchange, then fell down over 27 months until it finally found support in March of 2020 at just over 10 cents. That pattern's been going on since we hit resistance support, and it's been 77 months. That pattern ends in December of this year. January of 24 is the latest you could extend it. So it ends January of this year at the latest, or next year at the latest. And as you can see, this pattern pushes out, even in the short term, if it doesn't break this, all the way out possibly until Halloween. That's the crazy part. This handle could even, with this current handle down to 50 cents, it can actually support a drop. So it's not like it would be invalidated, and it does suggest this could take until October. That's some craziness. Even if it broke out in October, Let's just say it does take this truthfully, and we can't break out till October. If it takes all the way until there, your technical target would be $1.05. That's to put it in perspective. If it took that much longer, you would still have a breakout to $1.05, and it would happen probably around the 57-cent level, or 55-cent level, honestly, if it came down there. So that's what we're looking at from short to long with XRP. And then we can see one more little formation, as I wanted to get this information out before I even did the time intro and everything. So if we look at this major resistance, this is the all-time pattern, the downtrending resistance line right here, which it got rejected. But this is a mid-tier pivot point that I put in here at 64.2 cents because it's done something of significance here. When you look at this part of the pattern, it's actually speaking to us and telling us what's going on. If it doesn't break through, left shoulder had at top of resistance, right shoulder at pivot point, continuously is getting beaten down. If it does, it's coming down here for, this is where we're going to come. You'll have to break down. It's telling us all of this. If we can't break bullish out of what looks like an inverted head and shoulders, then we're going to break down, and it's going to push us to the first tier around 53 cents. That's if it can't hold. So we've got a lot of things to look at this morning. And on Bitcoin, or to pay attention to this morning, I should say, Bitcoin's down 1,963 points to 69,333. And Bitcoin, I think we've got this nailed to the wall here. And if you are watching right now, please make sure to hit that like button so YouTube recommends this update. By you hitting that like button and YouTube recommending the update, while everybody's scrolling through their feeds this Monday morning on the first day of April and getting a little irritated by all the April Fool's bullshit out there, they'll at least be able to see my content, the truth, reality, continuing to be in the moment like you're supposed to be. And by someone scrolling through the feeds, they're going to see my content now because YouTube recommended it, because you hit that like button. It'll allow them to come here, it'll allow them to grow, and allow them to get the information that they desperately need, not the information that they don't need that everybody else is putting out. So we have this ascending formation with Bitcoin, or not ascending, a bull flag formation. Well, what happened here is we broke down below the bull flag. I came on at 3 a.m. to talk about this when it was down here at 69,000. And I said it's looking to have a return rally up to 70,200 or 300 area. And if we get rejected there, then the technical target we've already got down at 67,381. Well, I don't want to say it's done exactly what we were talking about last night, but it's done exactly what we were talking about last night. Now it came back up, retested here. Has gotten rejected so far at the 200-day and the 30-minute and by the pattern formation breakdown as resistance now. That used to be support. So now instead of it going up to 73,768, we have a technical target to the downside because it is bearish right now after getting rejected, is at 67,381. So right now, if you're watching, Bitcoin's looking at about another 2,000 point drop to cap off a 4,000 point drop on the day. And that should bring XRP down to that technical target we talked about earlier. And this isn't to scare anybody. This is so that you can stay on track. First target is going to be down here to see if we can hold this support at 601. And it's very, very, very interesting how this is going to play out. Because I don't think 45 cents is how it's necessarily going to drop here. I think we're more likely to have a drop and then down to that technical zone of 53 and then 50. I would be shocked if this handle breaks. If this handle breaks, other than a wick down to 45, which is what it could be calling for, I would be stunned. So pay attention to the formations like I've shown here. Don't overanalyze it. DGB last night, I talked about a big move that was going to happen even if it got rejected. I talked about the move. It was at 1.8 down here somewhere, or 1.6. Yeah, I was at 1.6, 1.7. And we talked about first target was, yeah, that's exactly what it was. 168 last night is what it was at, or 163. We talked about first target was 1838. Get on top of that, and we're coming up to 211. I've had that target out here for ages. Since I bought in at 007, I had that big resistance up there at 2.1 cents. So DGB, when it hit there, it did fantastic. It's trying to build a W reversal here on the pivot layer. So we'll see if it's got more steam or if it's now just building a right arm is going to come down. But DGB has satisfied the entirety of the move that we talked about. So now would I be surprised if it consolidated? Hell no. But it's got one chance to break out here because you've got the upper target of 2.7 cents if it gets over ambitious here. As we've had the consolidation, volume's been crashing while price has been crashing. Volume predicts price. This is continuing. This is going to be a bullish reversal here if it plays true. According to the volume, it should play true in time. Doesn't mean it's going to happen right away, but right now, DGB is defying the odds. When every other thing on my list is red, I said yesterday, DGB is in a perfect spot to have a rally here when I came on it, or well, it was actually today because I came on at 3 a.m. If you watch that update, you got a valuable piece of information when DGB was at 1.6. You very well could have wrote it to 2.1 cents, sold it, and had a beautiful 15 to 20% rally just to start the day. Let's see how far it actually came up for DGB from that 1.6 layer. We'll just say 1.665. It had a 26% pump after I got off the air last at 3 a.m. after I did that update. Currently still up 12.3% because it was only up 4 point something percent when I came on. So that's beautiful to see because we're out in front of that. So I just wanted to update everybody on DGB. And if DGB does start to break down, I think it's pretty easy to see where it's going to go. I mean, you would have to look at this two different ways. But I firmly believe that this was set up for a reason here. As you created a higher low. Higher low. So these are very bullish if it can hold this setup. If it holds this uptrend, very bullish. There's a lower high. A higher low. So you start with the low. And then you come into a higher low right here. If this maintains, this will be a bullish continuation. And there's a lot of room here. You get above 2.1, you're going up to 2.7. So pay attention to my baby DGB. So with that being said, good morning. 10:39 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, April 1st, 2024. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So if you're watching here looking for some April Fools, you're not getting it here. I don't do that nonsense. I don't believe you play with people's emotions when their financial livelihoods are on the line. I also don't believe you do April Fools when it comes to finance. Because every single day we've got to be here, we've got to be honest, and we've got to be genuine. So if I start fooling with you and playing on your emotions because I want to get a quick laugh or say, oh, April Fools, I don't think that builds credibility. I think that builds a lot of fun and nonsense. I don't have time for nonsense. This is my livelihood. Trading cryptocurrencies, trading the markets, building precious metals is the way I stay from out of work. So with that being said, I don't have time for April Fools because I'm on the clock. So I hope all of you can appreciate that, and I hope all of you have that similar mindset. Mining stocks are doing okay today, even though gold had an initial push up. We got back into an all-time high zone. I had a technical target right now that we've yet to fill at 2,313. We came up to about 2,263 overnight. So we're looking pretty good here. Gold's looking pretty good. It's just now we're consolidating. And I just wanted to give everybody the little heads up here. If we are consolidating, you should be looking at a retest somewhere around here if it's going to hold this expansion area now. So you might get a retest around 2,200. Mining stocks are shaking it off right now, but I would expect them probably to give some back. First Majestic is over $6. Newmont Mining's over $36. B2 Gold's up to $2.64. So just pay attention to that. And we got to get to these articles, but we did a good job on the technical analysis this morning. Why did it put that way down there? Look what it did to my total crypto market cap. It put it all the way down to the bottom. And everybody who watches my analysis knows the total crypto market cap goes in between the other type of commodities and stuff. So DXY, what we're seeing here as well, it's going parabolic here this morning. We bounce off the formation breakout at 104.22. I think everybody who watches this program is well in tune. You all know that if it breaks up, which it is right now, the next technical resistance is all the way up at 107.35. And with what's going on in the USA, I would not be surprised if they try to artificially fluff the US dollar. With the total crypto market cap, we very well could be putting in that head and shoulders pattern or the topping reversal. We've already come up to a technical resistance. We very well could be starting a lengthy consolidation. And if it does it properly, you might come all the way back down to 1.9. And that wouldn't even invalidate what some could argue as a massive head formation. I mean, that's the reality of the situation. So we're going to look to make sure, because technically you're still on what could be considered a V-shaped recovery. one could still argue that this pattern has not given way yet. One could argue that we have not given way yet, and we're just trying to create some kind of flag here. We do have the inverted setup, but let's just watch this, because if we come down any farther here, I think the 30 minutes going to show this pretty well. Yeah, see, we're below the 30 and getting rejected. This very well could take a nice tug down here. It really could take a nice tug down here, and your next area of support is going to be to try to hold 2.5 trillion. And if we can't hold 2.5 trillion, we might come all the way back down here to 2.39 just to see if we're still bullish or not. So pay attention to that, because a lot of stuff going on here. A lot of stuff going on here in the markets. And now we got to get through some reading before I release this update. So first off, let's just catch up here, as I did release this in the earlier update, but this is a different spin on it from a different from you today. So $500 million XRP unlocked from Ripple escrow. And if you do appreciate what I do, it is the start of a new month. So consider sending one YouTube super chat per month, and or signing up for Tom's Army. In month one, you get the emoji badge of me being abducted by aliens. It would be a great help for all the time I put in, as it's an extraordinary amount. Or if you're looking to trade XRP in the USA with the lowest spot and leverage trading fees, look at BITUNIX. It's in the video description below and our pinned comments. You don't need a VPN. KYC you don't need to do if you're sending from exchange to exchange. So it's just, and as far as fees go, you get a differential of about 50 XRP if you buy it from Uphold compared to BITUNIX. So that comes out to about $36, $37 in and out. That's 7% on a swing trade just by buying and selling, when you've lost nothing in reality. So I've gotten away from that, and I'm sick of just getting nickel and dimed. And I needed an exchange that was up during high times of volatility. So this is where we're at. So $500 million XRP unlocked from Ripple escrow. In a recent development, Ripple has withdrawn a substantial sum from the escrow accounts. According to a report by Whale Alert, the company unlocked 500 million XRP earlier today. This routine event occurs on the first day of each month as part of an agreement to release XRP reserves. However, what sets this particular withdrawal apart is the deviation from the standard procedure. Typically, Ripple releases a billion XRP, but this time only half that amount was unlocked. Speculation abounds as the reason behind this alteration. Could it signify an unforeseen event, or is Ripple strategically pacing its release? At present, Ripple reportedly holds 39.6 million XRP in its accounts, a fraction of what was unlocked today, with 500 million XRP translating to a value of 307.15 million. The significance of this move cannot be understated. And there's the 500 million XRP released from escrow from unknown wallet. The timing of this withdrawal coincides with a turbulent period on the cryptocurrency market. Recent fluctuations have led to a downturn in XRP's price alongside the broader market trend. However, historical data suggests that April typically sees positive returns for XRP, hinting at a potential rebound XRP to USD coin market cap. Despite the market's current red hue, optimism prevails among XRP investors. The unlocking of the second tranche of XRP from Ripple's inventory later today may provide further insights into the company's strategy and its impact on the market dynamics. Will the second 500 million XRP release offer clarity or further fuel speculation? Only time will tell. And then last but not least, and then I'll release this, XRP price directionless. Ripple ruling at risk of being thrown out as it faces rejection by 2 federal judges. Ripple ruling, which labels XRP as a non-security and secondary sales, is at risk of being thrown out. And the reason I never advertise this site is because they put so much advertising. I wouldn't put this on my darkest enemy. Ripple ruling, which labels XRP as a non-security and secondary sales, is at risk of being thrown out. XRP may be declared as an unregistered security after 2 federal judges scoff at Ripple ruling from July of 2023. An XRP price retest declined below the psychologically important 60-cent level. Ripple ruling from July 2023 differentiates between XRP secondary market sales and institutional sales of the token by Ripple. Per the July ruling by Judge Annalisa Torres, the altcoin is identified as a non-security in transactions and exchanges. The ruling is in jeopardy as 2 federal judges have thrown out Judge Torres' application of the Howey test XRP, and American journalist Charles Gasparino highlights the incoherence. I don't even give a rat's ass what he says. Ripple Labs token XRP was classified as a non-security in secondary market sales and as security in institutional sales made by the payment remittance firm. The classification by Judge Annalisa Torres in the July 13, 2023 ruling relied on the U.S. Supreme Court's Howey test, a legal framework that helps identify whether an asset is an investment contract and therefore a security under securities laws. Judge Therese applied Howey and divided XRP sales into two categories. However, this application is being questioned by U.S. federal judges in the Coinbase and Terraform Labs lawsuits. Charles Gasparino, an American journalist and XRP expert, he's not an XRP expert, he's a douchebag. XRP expert states that rejection of Judge Torres ruling by judges, and XRP, well, he's a douchebag as an American journalist, but the XRP expert is obviously not looking at this from a grand scale. Ruling by judges show the incoherence of her Howey application. Gasparino remarks that no one can guarantee the ruling. It may get thrown out and XRP may be declared an unregistered security. He considers the reaction from federal judges as a sign that Judge Therese' legal analysis is faulty. A reminder to the XRP community, so far 2 Fed judges, including the one considered the Dean of Corporate Law Judiciary, Rakoff, have scoffed an argument using Judge Therese's at Ripple ruling as precedent. But see, this is where they gaslight you, because they completely different apples to oranges in some of these cases. So the reason they threw it out was for that exact reason. Charles Gasparino is nothing more than a fudster. That's why he's on the national media. If he was anything of relevance, he'd run his own show and not be fed to it on a teleprompter. Ripple's chief legal officer, Stuart Alderuddy, reread the Coinbase ruling from Wednesday and said that the Securities and Exchange Commission has sold the judge a bill of goods to accept the Coinbase lawsuit. The difficult part, where the SEC produces evidence, comes next, and Alderuddy expects the regulator to face the heat at this stage. Remember at the time Ripple judge booted the SEC's hack expert, who tried to say he knew what purchasers of XRP were relying on. And then XRP price declines that comes alongside whale accumulation of the altcoin on-chain metrics point at whales buying the dip. Data from Sentiment shows the XRP whales holding between 10 million and 100 million tokens added 190 million XRP tokens to their holdings between March 27th and April 1st. This cohort is important because it typically accumulates during the dip and takes profits at local tops, as seen in the Sentiment chart of a 6-month profits local tops, as seen in the Sentiment chart from a 6-month time frame. A larger whale cohort holding over 100 million XRP tokens was also seen accumulating in the charts below. Please make sure that like button so YouTube recommends this update. And if you watch until the end, hashtag be better, do better in the comments.